Well, good morning. It's Friday morning, and today we read from Philippians 1:25 through the end of the chapter, through 30, 25 through 30, which says, "Convinced of this, I know that I will remain and continue with you all for your progress and joy in the faith, so that in me you may have ample cause to glory in Christ Jesus, because of my coming to you again. Only let your manner of life be worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or am absent, I may hear of you that you are standing firm in one spirit, with one mind, striving side by side for the faith of the gospel, and not frightened in anything by your opponents. This is a clear sign to them of their destruction, but of your salvation, and that from God. For it has been granted to you that for the sake of Christ you should not only believe in him, but also suffer for his sake, engaged in the same conflict that you saw I had, and now hear that I still have." So, Mr. Paul, what are we saying today? He's been talking to them about how he wants to die and go and be with Jesus, but he also kind of wants to stay and live and continue ministering to them and with them. And he's convinced that he will stay. He won't die yet. And then he says, let your manner of life be worthy of the gospel of Christ. There's a great theme verse for your life. And let it be worthy, so that whether I come to you or not, whether I'm present or absent, you can stand firm in one spirit, have one mind, and strive side by side for the faith. Now, there's a sermon outline for you. In our democratic society, we think that everyone should have the right to believe whatever they want. And in fact, we do have the right to believe whatever you want. And so the notion that we would have one mind is kind of anti-democratic. You're like, wait a minute, I get to decide. And when you think that way, and most of us do, then I becomes the great arbiter of all things, and I am the one who chooses, and I am the one who sort of knows everything and makes all these decisions. And oh yeah, I go to church, but I am what's important. And that's really not the gospel. That's Americanism, but it's not really the gospel. And if you think that way, then stop and think about it for a week or two. Because Paul says we should have one mind. We should be of one mind with Jesus for the sake of the gospel. Then he goes also to say, it's been granted to you for the sake of Christ that you should not only have faith in him, believe in him, yeah, everybody believes in him, but that you should suffer with him, for him. You should have suffering in your life. Well, that goes against the American dream, which was to remove all pain, suffering, and discomfort and inconvenience as far away from our lives as we can. I mean, I don't want to have to get up and walk over to the TV. I don't think our TV even has buttons to change anything. Maybe on the back of it somewhere, but, we use the remote. And if it's over there by the TV and I have to get up and walk 6 steps to pick it up, oh, that's such a pain. Now, you think about how ridiculous that is. It really is ridiculous in a world where a lot of people don't have, shoes or a real floor in their house or lights or running water. And we complain because we have to walk over and, find the remote. So our lives have become very, very comfortable. And digital stuff has made them extremely. In some TVs, and I think this one will do it, I just don't have it set up that way. You can actually say, "Hey, TV, play, whatever," and it'll play it. So you don't even have to have the remote. You just use your voice. Now that is great. And we've got that with our phones. "Hey, Siri, blah, blah, blah." And Siri just popped up. So, but he says we should suffer for Christ's sake. Kierkegaard wrote a book once called The Gospel of Suffering, and he said, so many people have tried to make Christianity easy. I think I'll do my best to make it hard. And that was in the 1840s. So, they were still traveling around behind horses, in carriages and stuff. And so it was a long way from the life that we have. But he still thought that people were trying to make Christianity very simple and easy, and that his calling should be to make it hard. Well, I don't want to make it too hard for you. I want you to have a nice, easy life. That's not what Paul says. Paul says, it's a struggle to follow Jesus. And it is, and it should be. Every day should be a different kind of struggle, and you should be struggling against all kinds of things. And as you struggle, you grow. That's the fact. You don't have to like that, but think about it. If you're struggling, you're also growing. And what is it that God is trying to teach you and lead you to grow in and about? That's a question. And I'll leave you with that question today. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope that you have a great Friday.